What is going on, Phillies fans? Welcome into the Phightins final. Phillies lose the series, lose the game today, 6-4 in extra innings to the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's right, you guys heard it. They're like 14, 13 games under 500. Yet the Phillies found a way to give away the series. Not just today's game, not just yesterday's game, but the series. I'm usually like trying to be level-headed with these kind of things and break it down for what it is, but there really isn't anything to be level-headed about. This was one of the worst games I've ever watched this season so far, where the Phillies overall had a bad game, just a terrible game, didn't know what they were doing, didn't want to know what they were doing. I just base running mistakes, defensive mistakes, and the bats, of course, have just still not come alive for this team outside of the one guy who didn't make the lineup. So another mistake made by the manager, Rob Thompson. So mistakes galore today, and we're gonna get into it together. Let me be your therapist. You could be my therapist. We'll each get our own dueling couches here, and we could talk about this together. But the end all be all of the situation is your fighting Phillies. We are all excited. They were at the top of the wild card, but that's the problem with this wild card for how close it is. Real one little bad series ahead of you, bang, you're in. We're not even in the wild card. We're in the second spot in the wild card, to be honest. We're tied with Arizona, but we have the what's it called, the tiebreaker for it. But still, we're out of it. We're looking in. You got Miami and Milwaukee sharing that third spot, which we're going to be going to see Miami again. Now Miami was doing terrible. Now they were 1-9 2 games ago. They have won 2 games now. This is my point. You don't let these teams get momentum. You can't. This is the stuff that's biting us in the butt. These are these tough losses. Loss to the Guardians. The loss to Miami before right around the break. And then this week, you win against one of the best teams in baseball in the Baltimore Orioles, and you lose to the Bucks, who are like 12 games out of first or out of under 500. It is maddening. And I know I'm waiting for my boy Matty B to pop up on here and say, "Oh, this is who they are." It is who they are, but this is really bad. This is mental mistake after mental mistake after mental mistake. And I normally would go through it. I'll go through the offense, which we'll talk a little about. We'll talk about the pitching, which we're definitely going to talk about because this is where Rob Thompson. I rarely don't beat him up a lot, but this was a mistake he made. I get you're trying to save these guys to push them through August and September, but when the loss last night, the reason for not starting Brandon Marsh and Bryson Stott is confounding. And you know what? If they win today and they wallop him, he looks like a genius. He doesn't look like a genius then. He just got lucky, got away with it. It's a weak team. But you can't keep these teams in these games because it's going to come back and bite us, seriously bite us. And it is atrocious to watch. And it's hard to watch. You sit here and you spend Sunday afternoon and you're watching it. You get in your Phillies gear. You have your hot dogs, your hamburgers, you get everything ready. You go out the game. There's a contingency. Our boys at Philly Sports Trips put a huge group together to go out to this series. And they just lose it. You win game one, however, that wasn't like a blowout in any which way. You suck in game two. You just keep giving these guys. The Pittsburgh Pirates in game 2 and 3 have been just giving this game away, giving these individual games away, giving us the series, and we couldn't take it. We couldn't pick it up. We couldn't take it. And it is maddening to watch. It is maddening to watch. We'll get into the moments, the key moments or the key flubs of the game, I guess would be the good way of putting it, because that's what it was. Flubs. This team, Alec Boehm let's look at it. Who going into the 10th inning, you're like, oh, look at the Phillies. You get your zombie runner on second base. The Pirates make a mistake on their own. First baseman doesn't come off the bag to corral the ball and gets past him. You got guys on second and third, no outs. You should be able to get 2 runs, that one zombie runner, and maybe an extra insurance run, and take that into the second, because what happened with Valdez at the end here would not have happened. It just wouldn't have happened, or at least it would have tied the game back up. Call for whatever you want. But it's It's maddening. Like I don't know how else to put it. Besides maddening. I said Valdez. I meant Vasquez. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just so annoyed right now with the way this game went. Like I said, that was a bad game. Just not just like okay, the bats were cold, bad game, or the pitching was bad and they were letting up a lot of runs, bad game. It was just a mental mistake of a game. The whole game was one big mental mistake. They should have just gave them the win, took the day off, and just got themselves right and headed to Miami a little earlier than they would have today. Like it's and like I said, Miami's won 2 games now after losing like 7 in a row or whatever it was, and now they're gonna go get, and we're gonna make them look like the best team in baseball. Like it's bad. This team, the Phillies aren't losing to teams. The Phillies are losing to the Phillies. I know it's kind of cliche thing to say, but that's really what it is. It's really hard not to agree with me on this one because if you watch 5 minutes of this game, it's just so you get awkward in your own skin watching this game. It's just like guys aren't good right now. Like you on paper are better than this team. You should be better than this team. I mean, Gregory Soto's face said it all during that Trey Turner and Mundo Sosa blunder that kept that inning alive. For those who missed it, there was a pop up to third base. Both Trey and Mundo both come in trying to corral the ball. Simple pop up, simple play. Both somehow don't hear each other, and that's the other thing. They're trying to make excuses for them on the telecast, and it's Jeff, they will lose 3 or 4 in Miami. Well, if they do that, is this why like there's no moves at the trade deadline so far from the Phils? Like they have one extra day, maybe they're just like, well, we're gonna see what happens. Or is the own organization saying this isn't good? This isn't good, and it's hard to back up the play what we have right now. But that play between Mundo Sosa and Trey Turner when they bash into each other, the simple pop up keeps that inning alive, burns us. Is pretty much this game and series in a nutshell. Jess, what's going on? What a game! I don't even know if I call it a game. What a mess! What a stinking, dirty, rotten mess. Because that's what it is. This game was a mess. There the players in the game are. The stars of today's game were the fans in the stands, the fighting Phillies fans who traveled. Those are my stars of today's game because they had to sit through that garbage. They had to pay money to go out to Pittsburgh, to travel out there, and to sit through these 2 games and watch this hot garbage of a game. Like that to me is the star of this game because the second star of the game will be all of you guys who sat through and watched it at home when you could have been doing anything else at this time. I'm sure. Like, listen, we all love watching the Phillies. We do love watching our Philly sports. But when a game like this, you could do like 10,000 things in your head. You could be like, I could have done today. I could have done a million other things, and it's frustrating. And like I said, I'm waiting for Matty B. He always chimes in on me. It's just when they have a tough loss like this. Is this who they are? Well, unfortunately, yeah, it's who they are right now. This is really this. I was like, all right, Trey and Nick Castellanos are in their own heads. Okay, but now everybody else is in their heads. Alec Boehm's in his own head. But heads up base running was just horrible. Yeah, Jess. Yeah, at this point, it's just I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses for this team because this team should be better, but they're not. And I don't know if it's because they think they'll just they'll ease their way into it. Not the way this race is, how tight it is. It takes one bad series like this. You had a couple bad series, you redeem yourself against the Orioles, and bam, here you go. You come back, you're in Pittsburgh against the lowly Pirates who like traded half their team away, playing up against some young guys, and you sucked. And you blew the series, and you blow the series. Like you literally handed the wins that they got in this series to them. When they were saying, it was like, no. It's like almost like it's like the Spider-Man meme where we're all pointing at each other. Except there's only 2 Spider, and they're all pointing at each other. Like, no, you take it. No, you have the win. No, you. Nobody wanted it. It's like hot potato of a win. It's garbage, and it should never happen. How do you take Sanchez out after only 73 pitches, not giving up a hit, then bring in Dominguez and boom? So, okay, there's two big Rob Thompson flubs today. Jeff, you brought it up. I'm going to talk about it. You brought it up. But real quick, before I'm going to talk about it in 2 seconds, but before we do, I remind you that this is brought to you by our friends over at Phillies Sports Trips, because they make even bad games worth being at. Because you know what? I'm sure they had 2 bad games to watch, but I guarantee you they still had an amazing time. I can tell you, I've seen the pictures. I've talked to Vince, talked to all the guys over at Phillies Sports Trips. The crowd was raucous. They had a good time. The parties, the atmosphere was amazing. And if you want to go out to San Diego. They have that coming up. You really want to make it a trip, you can get your deposit in now for the London trip in June of next year, or you can get one of these amazing Eagles trips, because hopefully they'll be doing better on the road. Check them out, phillysportstrips.com. So back to what Jeff was asking, and real quick, Ellis, 100%. Philly should take a look in the mirror. You know what? Rob Thompson, if he wants to redeem himself at all today, he should tell the media, I'm not talking to you. Guys, hit the bricks. I got to talk to my team. Shut the door and just start kicking chairs and throwing things all over the place, because this team needs a wake up. Smack in the face, cold water in the face type situation. That's what they need. That's what they need. Make them walk to Miami after these last 2 games. How would you take Sanchez out of 73 pitches and he's not even giving up a hit? Then they bring in Dominguez. So let's tell the story for Jeff, for those who are just joining us. So Christopher Sanchez has been a hidden gem, an unsung hero, if you want to call him, since he's become a starter. He's a 5th starter, and it's all people clamoring, oh, you need a 5th starter. No, you don't. You got Christopher Sanchez. He's been doing really well. He's got a 2.66 ERA. How many 5th starters have a 2.66 ERA? He went 5 innings, allowed 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 everything. He only walked 2 people and 3 strikeouts. 0 hits. He had a no-hitter going in the 6th inning with 73 pitches, and you pull him. Bonehead mistake. Bonehead mistake. That was the second bonehead mistake of the day. Well, second biggest bonehead mistake of the day for Rob Thompson. Now, I usually defend Rob Thompson, but when you make a bonehead mistake, you're getting it pointed out, and here I am pointing it out. You put it. You could. I know they're like, oh, he was never meant to be. A guy goes through the rotation 3 times, and blah 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 blah. Sometimes you got to work from your gut, Rob. That baseball gut. Guy, 73 pitches. He can go at least 1 more inning, 2 more innings if he really would continue to mow them down. But then no. You bring in Sir Anthony. And you know what? I love Sir Anthony. He was great last year, but he has been schlock this year. Injuries, plus he just hasn't been able to find himself. And here you go. In 1/3 of inning pitched, he allowed 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, a walk, and allowed a homer. And put this game right back at tied 2-2, and allowed the Pirates the energy, the juice to stick in this game. And it's no. This point in the season, and you don't want to run down your bullpen, let Christopher Sanchez. He didn't start being a pitcher until June. All right, it's July. Let him pitch. Pitch some more, Rob. What the hell, man? You need that. You need to do that. You don't do that right now. 73 pitches and a no-hitter? Come on. Like, you don't do that. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for getting my blood pressure up. Nah, I was up before you. I'm just kidding. Mr. Rudy Poo, we need to sell at the deadline. This whole team is lifeless besides Bohm and Stott. Yeah, and Bohm had a blunder of a blunder today, which really cost us. Listen, selling at the deadline. This is the deadline. We're here, man. Tuesday is like the deadline. But who wants a Nick Castellanos who admitted in his pregame interview he's in his own head and he's swinging at everything. He literally tells everybody. So why would you ever throw the man a gosh darn strike? Why? I don't know. So who's going to want any? You want Kyle Schwarber batting under 200? You know, I mean, you can't use him in defense. So if you're looking for a DH, maybe, I don't know. But nobody's going to want these contracts. There's nothing we can sell. Nothing we can give unless you want to give the young guys, but I don't want to give up Bryson Stott. Blunder number one for the day for Rob Thompson, by the way. So let's talk about that. Before the even game got started, blunder after freaking blunder. The blunders before they were on the base path started with the freaking lineup today. Rob Thompson had his original lineup. Did not have Brandon Marchand. Did not have Bryson Stott in it. Listen, I like these young guys. I like Amundo Sosa. I really like Johan Rojas. I think he could be something one day. But now is not the time. We won last night. Fine. Put in this Sunday getaway game lineup. Go right ahead. I'm all for it at that point. But right now, when you're down, that is not the time you do it. It's just not the time you do something of that caliber. Just sorry. It's really like here's the lineup at the beginning of the game for those who are just joining us. Schwarber, Castellanos. Oh, let's go through this. Schwarber, he's been walking for the most part. He had a series where he was walking a lot, but and he had the 2-run home run last night. But other than that, he did not have a game like that today. Castellanos, he needs a break. Harper, Bohm, Turner, I don't even know where to go with him. Sosa, Harrison, Stubbs, Rojas. No JT, no Stott, no Marsh. I don't know. I don't get it. Yeah, I'm talking. It's Gary's fault. I'm talking about bad decision. Bad decisions. There's 2 decisions that literally changed the outcome of today's game. You leave the guys in there who are struggling. So obviously now you have Sanchez in there who's pitching a gem. You pull him as he's still pitching a gem, and with just 2-run support. That's it. Oh, strikeout merchants at the beginning. I mean, strikeout after strikeout. I mean, what was the total strikeouts today? Let's see. 8 strikeouts. Oh, I'm sorry, not 8. 14 strikeouts. What am I thinking? Only 14 strikeouts today. Whoa. It's been a problem for a while. I mean, this is not a new problem. But when you have power hitters in your lineup like you do, that's going to happen. I'm not like, all right, well, 14 strikeouts. So you had a guy who was 43 years on the mound in Hill, he's a decent pitcher. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not a good pitcher. But he's a guy who can give up some long balls. He's a guy who can give you a chance. We got 7 strikeouts on this guy. His fastest stuff is 89 miles per hour. Come on, man. Understatement of the year, Gar, and bad base running killed us. Destroyed us. Massacred us. Mashed up any thought of any chance of winning this game. That's what that did. We have rookies, guys named like Malika and Palacio. Stunting on our team. Yeah. These guys barely had a guy last night playing second base for the first time ever. And he was out there looking like, he's been doing it for 30 years, for 15 years. It's ridiculous. Horrible. Why put Mr. Anthony? He's been struggling. Why do that? I don't know. Like, I understand putting a guy in when maybe you're up like 5+ runs and you want to give him a little work, give him a little, you give him a little cushion, gives him a little leeway, makes him feel better, let him get a little victory tour inside himself and feel good about himself. Nope. Not at all. Mr. Rudy Poo. Power hitters where? Can we put an APB on for our home runs? Well, we have guys who should be power hitters. That's what they were brought in for. I agree with you. Yes, we need to find some home runs. We need to find something, some stroke of luck. I don't know what it is. And we keep saying this. Well, they're going to go to Miami now, and they have this division, and they really need to take care of business at Miami. You can't lose this series now. You lose this series to Miami. So 2 for 2 in Miami is barely going to be enough, but you need 3 for 4 if you want to get your head above water again. Because that's it. I feel like I'm treading water, but like right here is the water. I don't got much more space. So I'm going to be drowning because we are drowning. This team is drowning, and it's not good. I'm not here ringing the bell saying, oh, the season's over, but it's going to be if this continues for another week or two. because we're only getting into August now, and we keep saying there's plenty of baseball in front of us. Well, that's not true anymore. It's not plenty of baseball. There's baseball in front of us. You get a little leeway, but that leeway is shrunk this much, maybe even more. I don't know. I hope after this year, Thompson and Long are fired. I don't know if that's the answer, man. We can't fire Jeff. We can't fire every year. Nobody's going to want to stick around with us. Why would you want to coach if you know you make some mistakes, you're out? No, if you're not perfect, you're out. I mean, that's how they're going to think. And Kev Long is not. I mean, I can't blame him for all the hitting woes. I can't, because then you're going to blame him, or you're going to give him grief for how well Stott's playing, how well Brandon Marsh has been playing. I mean, Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, these guys are vets. I mean, he's supposed to sit there and help them, but they're only going to help themselves the most. Hoffman's been better than him. Yeah, Hoffman's been another diamond in the rough to find. He's been very serviceable at best, or at worst. Mr. Rudy Poo. I get Bryce did everybody else. I get Bryce, but did everybody else want to have Tommy John? Where's the power? It's not just that. It's where's the heart? I think that's what I'm looking for, some heart. Because they go up there, they're like swinging for the fences every time, but they're not looking at the ball. If they make connection with that ball, if somebody throws the ball right at them, yeah, they're going to crush it every time. The power's there. It's the plate discipline. And I talked about this earlier on today with PM in the AM with Mike and Pat. This team's missing something with two simple words: plate discipline. Looking for the pitch, working into pitches, not letting pitches work you. And that's what they're doing. Horrible blow pen starting with Anthony. Now, listen, the whole bullpen is not bad. There's no blow pen here. So Anthony Dominguez, yeah, he was a problem. And let's see, Christopher Sanchez is our ace as of lately. Yeah, I mean, he's been really good. He's not going to listen. Sustainability might be the problem with him, but Ranger has been great. Not been great, but he's been good. He's had some up and down, but Taijuan Walker had a rough start his last start, but after getting through that inning, he was on fire. Wheeler, I mean, what do we have to say about Wheeler? And then he's been really good too. And Aaron Nola is just, thank God Aaron Nola thought too highly of himself to sign that contract. We'd be stuck with him. They did not do that extension this year. They wanted to halt extension talks until after the season because he was betting on himself. Well, he backed the wrong horse on that one, apparently. Whiffing on that low and away breaking ball out of the zone. Why are they even trying to swing at that? That's what I'm talking about, Mr. Rudy Poo. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Because, I mean, if you look at it, there was like I said, Nick Castellanos literally admitted he's doing this on air in an interview that was aired on NBC Sports Philadelphia. They literally put up there something that said, yeah, I'm just kind of in my own head and swinging at everything. I'm not really, pretty much said I don't have any plate discipline right now because I'm annoyed. That's what he said. So why would you ever throw this man a hittable strike? You throw him low and away stuff or a rising fastball because they were eating on them last night. They were chewing out all night, just eating away on high heat out of the zone. And I listen, I'm not blaming the umps. The ump today was the pitch strike ball calls were just horrible today. I mean, just horrible. The guy was all over the place. Consistency was not. Sometimes guys have bigger strike zones. Some guys have smaller strike zone. But his consistency was bad. So, but that's not here and there. Both teams had to deal with that. Thompson put a lineup out that was begging for a loss. Why? Before the game even started, people on social media were blasting Flopper. No, Walt, you're right. I was one of those people. I tweeted out this morning or early this afternoon, whatever time it was. Why, oh, why, oh, why, oh, why are you not having Stott in there? Why are you not having JT in there? Why are you not having Marsh in there? Okay, maybe JT gets a day off. It's a catcher. That happens. They get their days off. Yeah, no, listen, I'm not defending Rob Thompson's lineup today. I am not defending that. I'm not saying we should fire him, but I'm not defending him either. Okay? It was stupid. Dumb. Like I said, You said it. You said it best here. That lineup was begging for a loss, 100%. The blunder of the day was that lineup, and that started the whole thing. I knew when he had terrible base running, we were going to lose this game. Or when we had to, yeah, when the base. Oh my god! And the worst one was. I mean, you had the like I said, a collision of Sosa and Turner. You had Bohm almost had had an error. Luckily, he was supposed to catch the ball. He kept pointing at his glove like there was a giant baseball sized hole in it. Luckily, it didn't go too far. I was able to pick it up, step on the base, and the runners weren't really paying attention from the Pirates. Again, giving us a chance because any other team any team with half a brain would have scored on that. Wouldn't have even been extra innings if that happened. It's maddening. It really is maddening. Nick's about to make me swing at everything. Yeah, right. Want to swing at him at this rate? Like, I don't get that. That's not an excuse to me. So you're telling me I just have no self-control? Go up to the plate. Last night, the closer, Bednard for the Pirates, really good closer. Really good. He's really good. But he had no control. He could probably stood there and maybe got a higher chance of walking than hitting the ball. I don't know. It's maddening there. Little league defense. Turner is a joke. So far, not worth the money. Bill, I agree with you. So far, he is not worth the money. Now you have to look this over 10 years. You know what I mean? Like, or whatever it is, 13 years, whatever his thing is. And look at it over that. Like, that's where you're going to judge Turner on that. I mean, if that was it, Nick Castellanos was a bust already. But he already, up until the last couple of weeks, he was our best. You know, he carried this team. And that's why I'm maybe not trashing Nicky Bats as much as I would normally. But I'm not letting them get away with it either today. We look like the bad news bears out there. Yeah, but it wasn't funny. You know, it's like one of those things like, oh, on a movie or TV show, that's funny. Ha ha ha. Today, garbage, disgusting, nauseating, all those terms. Shirley, thank you for joining in. I'm no baseball pro, but even I know it's a bad decision to pull the pitcher for a guy who hasn't even played in a while. Should have let the guy just see if he could get a no-hitter. Even if you're not going to get a full 9-inning no-hitter like type game, I get it. If you don't make him go 9 innings, but you couldn't go one more inning, one full inning. You couldn't go 6 innings. Because you're letting the analytics decide that. That's the problem. That's my problem. He could have done the 1 or 2 innings. Fine. Maybe you let up a hit. If you see him getting in trouble, then you pull him. You don't pull him expecting him to get in trouble. I know that was never the thought process. It's supposed to be kind of like a bullpen type game when Christopher Sanchez and get him like 3 or 4 innings and get him out. Well, he hasn't had to do that, and he's worked himself into something. I don't know what they're seeing that we're not. What are they seeing, Cheryl? What are they seeing? Because I'm not seeing it. Let the man pitch. He's doing well. He's playing well. Let him pitch. That's that simple. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But like I said, Christopher Sanchez, 5 innings, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Nothing else. No hits, no runs, no earned runs. Pitching a gem. Sir Anthony comes in. Just, yeah, is the best word I can use for it. Hoffman came in. He was servable and let up 1 hit, but got a strikeout to relieve Sir Anthony. Gregory Soto, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 2 strikeouts. No earned run because that was the flubs that cost him. You could see Soto's face. He was like walking away after the inning was out. After they got in the inning, he was yelling into his glove, probably like, damn team, screaming in there. People are making fun of the Mets. We're turning into Mets. Yeah, there's something for you guys to chew on. We're turning into the Mets. The Mets have been a haphazard team. We're looking like that too. That's a scary revelation right there, ladies and gentlemen. We're looking like the Mets. This team is broken. No way the team or even Bryce let the dude round the bases like that. I don't know. It's his birthday. Un-Bryce-like. What do you mean? The final strike nail in the coffin? The coffin cost us the game. That 2-run. Is that what you're talking about? He pitching better than Nola. Oh yeah, he is pitching. I guess he's saying Sanchez. Yeah, he's pitching better than Ola. They sit everyone else. Why can't they sit Schwarber out for a few games? Well, I guess because they figure he's DHing. You don't need to sit him because he's not physically doing much. I don't know. That's my thought process. Back to the pitching. Junior Marte, 1 inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, and a strikeout. Craig Kimbrell got a little shaky there too at one point with 1 run, a 1 hit, no runs, kept the game tied, sending extra innings. The Phillies just fell apart in that 10th inning. Should have got at least 1 run across. Probably should have 2. Would have gave us this 2-run home run a buffer for us. Didn't give it to us. And then Vasquez comes in, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned run, and allowed the 2-run home run to win the game. Just pathetic. Just pathetic. Just a pathetic loss. Yeah, that walk-off home run, dude was dancing around the bases. What was he going to – I mean, unfortunately, I agree with you. But what's he going to do? He's going to complain about it? Now you're just going to look like you're bitter. That guy earned it. It was a young kid who they beat a good, which is supposed to be a good team, cross-state rivals, on his birthday, hits a home run. I mean, you got to let him have it. You got to let him have it. This team has no life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go Eagles. Yeah, I mean, that's what you're thinking. Go out. Everybody going to go out, buy their Kelly Green jerseys tomorrow. What's up, Fuge? What's going on, buddy? But let's just look at the lineup here. Like I said, Schwarber, he was 0 for 3 with a run, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. Marsh pinch ran for him, I should say. Castellanos was 1 for 5, so he did get a hit, but he had 2 strikeouts. Harper, 1 for 2, a run, 1 ribby, 3 walks, and a strikeout. So he had a decent game. Bohm was 3 for 5. He had a home run today. 1 run. He had 3 RBIs today and 1 strikeout. Turner was 1 for 5 with 2 strikeouts. Again, he had a decent hit in the beginning, but just kind of flopped all over the place. Harrison started the game for whatever reason. He's 0 for 3. Big 0 for across the board. Stubbs was 0 for 3 with 1 run and 1 walk. Rojas didn't have his greatest game today. 1 for 3, 1 strikeout, and he actually kind of, I won't say bobbled it, but just didn't cleanly field the ball. Make things more difficult. At one point, just it's terrible. Like there is no highlights to this game for the Phillies. It's all low lights. So if you go back and watch it, God bless you. Guys, if you're looking for tickets, like he said, the Eagle season's coming upon us, and the tickets are hard to get, really hard to get, and you need to get the great price, without having any hidden fees at checkout. Go to sherrystickets.com. Family owned and operated since 1946. sherrystickets.com. You can get sports, concerts, theater, no matter where you're at. I don't care where you're listening from. Use that promo code EOP10 because you're going to get great prices, no hidden fees at the end. So what you see on the screen is what you're going to pay. You're not going to get slammed with a $75, $100, $150 hidden fee, and then you're going to get an additional 10% off using that promo code EOP10. So check it out, use it. Go to sherrystickets.com. Stott should be in there. He's been on fire. Agreed. Garrett, we've been talking about this all game. I don't get it. I understand maybe you're trying to, that's what he did last year. He's trying to do it, but there's got to be some urgency. We can't keep playing to the end and living on being in and out of the playoffs by a razor thin margin. Bad move today. Sorry, bad move. This one game would not have made or break Bryson Stott to play later into the season. Mr. Rudy Poo, nothing can be done at the deadline. They will really make a difference. Not even worth giving up the prospects for this dry market. The only team there's few teams out there making moves, but the Rangers, they really pushed all in. They, they got Max Scherzer. They got a couple pitchers from Cardinals that were available. So, they're pushing all in. So, yeah, I mean, this team right now, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Real quick, let's look at the out-of-town scoreboard. It's the bottom of the 8th. Colorado's up 2-0 on Oakland. San Fran is up 1-0 on Boston in the bottom of the 5th. LA is losing to Cincinnati 7-0. Seattle is winning, beating Arizona 3-0. So hopefully they can hold on to that one a little longer. San Diego's beating Texas 1-0. Tonight, Yankees take on the Orioles in Baltimore on primetime baseball on ESPN. Toronto lost to the Angels 3-2 in extra innings. Milwaukee lost to Atlanta 8-6. The Mets beat Washington 5-2. And let's see. Oh yeah, Detroit lost to Miami 8-6. Houston lost to Tampa Bay 8-2. The Royals beat the Twins 2-1. Chicago White Sox lost to Cleveland 5-0, and the Cubs lost to St. Louis 3-0. And that is your out of town scoreboard. Looking at your playoff bracket right now, looking at the wild card standings, I should say. San Fran is top with Cincinnati, Miami, and Milwaukee all tied at 57 and 49 for that second and third wild card spot. And we are the outside looking in, tied with Arizona at 56 and 49 looking in. And that is your wild card standings. Hence why I said this razor thin margin. You need to go take 3 to 4 if you want to get any chance of putting a little distance between others and yourself. So with that being said, I want to thank you guys for joining me today. I want to thank you guys for joining EOP Sports. Check us out. I know tonight's all across all the time. Last thing for this weekend. Plenty of other content being posted, all that stuff here at EOP Sports. Also this week coming up, I already just put the schedule out, so I'll throw it up here for you guys. You'll be the first ones to look at it that aren't part of the EOP network. So here it is. We have all your finals for the week for the Marlins and the Royals because there's 7 games next week. Birds of the Round Table is back tomorrow, as well as Chalk Talk. And then Tuesday, Attacking the Third will be back talking Union Soccer because there's a matchup on Thursday. Wednesday, of course, it's Party on Broad, Philly Press Box Radio, EOP Sports Live, as well as another Phightins final. Thursday, Talking Philly Sports with Matty B is back. Friday, the Steel Steps returns for Talk Wrestling. Saturday, Patterson at Fanatics at 9 a.m. And Sunday, PM in the AM, and all across all the time. So check it out, guys. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining us. Go to all our Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. If you're on there, smash like that button, subscribe button, wherever you're watching. If you're on Facebook, you can jump over to YouTube and just hit that subscribe button and vice versa. Helps us out. And go to our website, eopsports.com, and sign up for the newsletter. All this stuff coming out. Thanks, Big L, to bad we lost these series. Yeah, anytime, Garrett. Anytime, my friend. I'm here for you. You're here for me. That's what we love about you guys. If you guys can just, like I said, all those likes helps us do what we do, helps us help the sponsors grow, and the sponsors stick around with us. We get more sponsors and help you guys and bring you guys the best sports material out there. Because I feel like not just saying that because I work here. I'm saying that because I love doing what I do with everybody. And you guys are great fans and great people. And you make it worthwhile to sit through a terrible Phillies game and come on and talk about it. So, guys, thank you. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great rest of your Sunday. Enjoy it. Hit the barbecue or whatever you're going to do. If you're down the shore and you're listening to me on the beach, go back in the wood or go cool off. Have a great one. Other than that, guys, check us out. Take it easy.